Hello, good evening. Welcome and thank you for joining me this evening, or on catch up if you're watching on the catch up. It's 8 o'clock Thursday evening here in the UK, and my normal go live YouTube time. So thank you for hopping on. My name is Heather Thomas. I am the Songbird Stamper and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Fareham in the United Kingdom, just on the south coast. And I thought we'd have a little bit of a play this morning for this evening. I've just got home from work, so apologies. I'm exhausted, so apologies. We're going to have a play this evening with the Fragrant Flowers bundle. So it's a brand new stamps and dies that come in the January to April mini catalogue, and our Stampin Blends, because everybody knows. Hey Katie, how you doing? All right. Everybody knows I love my Stampin Blends, so I thought we'd have a little bit of play with colour. I hope the lighting's okay. That's one bit late. I've just been faffing around trying to get it right. I don't know that I have. Yeah, work was good, thank you. All good. So yeah, Stampin Blends out while we wait for a few people to hop on. Stampin Blends alcohol marker course is coming again in February. So I'm going to be hosting another Stampin Blends alcohol marker course. We've just finished the last one, autumn one. Next year, however, I am only running one. Hello, Mary. Hello, Carol. Nice to see you this evening. Well, see you virtually, that is. I feel like I'm interacting with you all guys. So I just finished one. I'm due to start another one in February. So I've been planning, busy preparing. This is actually one of the stamps that we're going to use in the course. And these are the other ones. I can show you the stamp sets. I can't show you the catalogue at the moment. Katie, you always send such long messages. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to read them all. Got a bit of a cough, which he is giving me. It's feeling worse. Bless you. Oh, good. You finished for the year. I have not. I've got another week to do, sadly. Oh, isn't this cute? Absolutely love that stamp set. So all 4 of those will be included in the course if you get the product-based version. A link to the information is in the description below. So if you want to find out more, hop to the description, grab the link, head on over, see what it's all about. So this was the one we're playing with today. And the colours I've got are Mossy Meadow, light and dark, Blackberry Bliss, light and dark, Fresh Freesia, light and dark. Yeah, I prefer that one to the other names. I think they are pretty. They're like, I don't know, more cute. I think they're even more cutesy if that's possible. So let's get you in the middle. I have pre-prepared some stuff, but not, I don't know. We'll see how we get on. I'm going to stamp this big one. I'm going to stamp it in Memento. This is just the basic white cardstock. Just a standard Memento ink. Just going to line that up a little bit better on the grid there. Well, I hope everybody's had a good week. It's been cold here in the UK. My poor old bunny's water bottle keeps freezing. I keep having to defrost it, but luckily, because it's cool, they don't need as much water, but still just trying to keep on top of it, giving them lots of fresh veggies, which is all full of water as well. Hi Anita, how you doing? All right, nice to see you this evening. Oh, you've got to tidy up while you watch. Challenging. Bless you. I don't know if I can do 2 things at once these days. Isn't that so? This is a gorgeous image. I absolutely love it. It's not the quickest to colour. Hey Gina, nice to see you this evening. It's not the quickest image to colour, but I think it's really effective. So I've got Mossy Meadow, Blackberry Bliss, Fresh Freesia. I'm not going to colour the whole thing, so I've already got one pre-prepared that I might do a bit of Blue Peter styly. We'll see how we get on. So I'm just going to zoom you in. Excuse the noise, because then you can see exactly what I'm doing. There we go. So I'm going to start with the Mossy Meadow. I think -7, -7. Just hasn't got above freezing really, has it? Saturday's supposed to. So Mossy Meadow dark, and I'm just going to pop some of that right in this base bit here. That's where your darkest area is going to be. And then kind of fanning out, trying to get it along some of these vein lines but more dark at the base, really. And you can always go out in and add more dark if you want to. And I'm going to grab my light, and I'm just going to go over the whole lot. Build that mid-tone up. And then come out to the edges. I find it so relaxing colouring. I got lost doing this the other day. So it does take a little while, but I think it's so effective. Again, you can always go back in and add more dark, especially when this is wet. So we don't really think of alcohol markers being wet and dry. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Katie. Yes, I was just in my own zone colouring away there. I need it a bit closer to me, you see. So there we go. Is that better? There. Okay. I'm going to do the other leaves while I'm here. Been out all day. Oh, Staunton Park. Whiteley. Yeah, Whiteley's a good place for shopping around us, Anita. It's a nice place, Whiteley. I bet was it busy? We went out to Chichester the other day and it was lovely, but it was so busy. We didn't get any shopping done. It wasn't that busy, but we don't really do going out. A bit sad. We didn't actually get any shopping done. We just had lunch in Marks and Spencer's cafe. Did a bit of a Marks and Spencer's like £20 shop and came home. That was our adventure. We went into Lakeland is where we went, looking for saucepans and things, and realised that it was just really expensive. I like one of the saucepans on the shelf. Was it saucepan? Oh, sorry, we were looking for frying. We were looking for frying pans, and one of the pans we saw was £160. So I don't know anybody who's got £160 to spend on a frying pan. Anyway, we go off topic. Just going back to my colouring. Just making that really kind of dark right in the base here, and a little bit under here where we've got a bit of shadow as well. It does cost, Katie, you're absolutely right. So there we go. That's leaf number 2. Now I'm just going to move on purely because you've seen me do that now. I'm not actually colouring the whole thing. Hey, Anne-Marie, nice to see you. Yeah, I shouldn't really advertise this, to be honest, but I have bought some Christmas cards this year. I decided I wasn't going to stress myself out. And our neighbours, Ross wants to do cards for our neighbours. They won't appreciate a handmade card, bless them. So I didn't have enough in my drawer after my classes, my customers, my friends, everybody getting handmade cards. I went out to the supermarket and I bought some. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Okay, so I've got 4 pens. Dark Blackberry Bliss, light Blackberry Bliss, dark Fresh Freesia, light Fresh Freesia. Okay. Let's see. This I think this looks so pretty. So you can't really see what I've done, but I've just got all my pens lined up in order, and I'm just putting them off to one side. So you're zoomed in very close, so I hope you can see what I'm doing, and I hope I can actually do what I'm doing, because the camera is so close to the paper. So this is the dark Blackberry Bliss, and this is a petal. So let me grab a little pointy tool. This is one of the petals. Yep. And so right under the base where the other one meets, I'm just going to put some dark marker, and I'm just going to pop some along the lines. And then here, I'm just putting some dark on those lines as well. It's the artist lines, you know, they're there for us to kind of use to help us with our colouring. So this is the light Blackberry Bliss. So it's still quite dark. And I'm just coming up like a little bit further, probably about halfway up the petal. Funny how cards go in cycles. Yes, robins. I've just bought it. That's what was on the ones that I bought, was the robins. So this is now the dark Fresh Freesia. So I'm going to go over the whole of that coloured bit already because it's going to change the tone ever so slightly. and I want it to tie in. I'm just going to come up. I'm still leaving some space right at the top. I think I might have zoomed you in too far. You can see all of the flaws in my colouring. I'm just blending that bit out. And we go from light to dark. And you just keep going around and doing that on all the different petals, basically. So let's do a few more. So right at the back here, where they've only got a little petal, you can't get all 4 colours in. So I've just gone for dark Blackberry Bliss and dark Fresh Freesia. And that will just give an indication of that light to dark. We go way more in depth with all of this on the course, but it's just a bit of a basic introduction to blending different colours together and colouring petals. I've messed up my order. I was trying to keep my pens in a nice neat order on my grid paper, but as I'm not a particularly neat crafter, it didn't really work so well. I've decided not to go back over the whole thing. I'm just going over the blend line, over the join line, and then in with my light Fresh Freesia. Over the top of that one. Can you see now how this is going to take quite a long time to colour? This is very much a winter's day, cold and dreary outside. Got a film on, just sat here colouring away to a film downstairs in the living room. But it's not a particularly quick task. But I will show you the finished result in a sec, because we're going to try and make 2 cards tonight. A bit adventurous, isn't it? But they work really well together. I'll come in a little bit. So the further you get into the middle, the smaller the petals get, the less light there is going into it, and the more you're going to find you want to use that dark Blackberry Bliss, dark Fresh Freesia combo. Okay, so it's going to get light. It's going to lighter on the edges, darker in centre. Trying to do cards for tomorrow, but everything has gone pear-shaped this week. Oh, bless you, Anne-Marie. Don't worry about it. Honestly, I'm not worrying this year. I haven't got the capacity, so people will understand for sure. I've got what I've got in my drawer, and when they're gone, they're gone. I might get a chance at the weekend to make some, but I'm certainly not going to get a chance. I've got a class tomorrow, which I'm really looking forward to, the last cuppa and card of the year, and then I've got a group in the afternoon. So right in the centre here, so this is a bit of a cheating way of cheating. I'm literally just going to go in and put in some dark, almost quite randomly, and then I'm going to put in the light Blackberry Bliss. So that was dark Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to put in the light Blackberry Bliss and then dark Fresh Freesia. It's just going to go all over the top of these inner petals because they want to be quite dark. And normally I wouldn't colour like this. I would work all the way in. I'd work all the way around the outside and work all the way in. But I don't want to sit here and colour this whole thing because I haven't got time. You guys probably don't want to watch it. I've got other flowers to colour. I've got so much to do and so little time to do it in. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do the centre. And then I'll show you the one that's done. And you can tell me if you think it was worth the effort. So dark in the centre. Okay. Is this something? Yes, exactly, Gina. This is exactly the kind of thing you're going to learn in the course in way more detail because it's 3-hour lessons. This is really quick. I'm trying to be really quick, but give you a kind of brief overview of how to do it. And hey, Louise. Nice to see you this evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Carol. I love it. I absolutely love colouring in. So yeah, I'm just doing what I love and trying to share what I love as well with other people. So yeah, if you fancy learning a little bit more about this colouring, head to the link in the description below to see the colouring course. So I'm just going to zoom you back out again because here we go. This is the dies that come with the bundle. Oh, and I haven't shown you papers. I'll do this. I just wanted to get to the colouring. I was so keen. So this is the bundle. These are the dies. This one's like in a little embossing die. That's really cute. You've got 2 leaves, one big, one small. This one and this one cut out the flowers. This is little added dimension and some little label dies and stuff like that. So this bundle is £45.75. And during Celebration, which I haven't really spoken to all of you about Celebration yet, happening in January and February, if you were to buy those, then you get a free item, because every spend over 45 qualifies for a free item. And these are one of the packs of papers that you can get for free, and they coordinate with this set. So gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. Light's not great. There we go. Gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. And this is kind of where I got the inspiration from. This is exactly what they've done, is coloured it in that real dark to light effect. So this was probably coloured. I mean, they do all their papers by hand, so this is probably coloured by hand. Look at those leaves. Aren't they stunning? Yeah, it's lovely to see how the different colours interact, and you get that one on that side as well. So that's really pretty. Fresh freesia. This one and this one. This is the paper that we're using today. I'm going to have a play with this paper, this sheet. It's a bit busy, that one, isn't it? But I have used it. And then that on the other side. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And then you've got some kind of oranges and calypsos and peaches. They're really pretty. Old olive. This is old olive, mossy meadow. On the back of the paper, if you didn't know, on the back of the paper, it tells you what the colours are. Somebody I thought should know this. Been Stampin' Up a long time. Only learnt this the other day, so I thought I'd tell you. Basic black, blackberry bliss, calypso coral, evening evergreen, fresh freesia, mossy meadow, and petal pink. Gorgeous. That's really pretty, that one. Seen that one. This is like dahlias. It's almost like dahlias. Aren't they stunning, Gina? Yeah, really, really pretty bundle. And so this is the coordinating paper, but it's only available through, well, it's available for free, so it's a bit of a bonus, to be honest. It's nice to see coordinating things come out. So I'll show you the finished colouring for that flower. And I've put it onto I have kind of made the background. So here it is. This isn't the card, but this is the colouring on that flower. I just really love that. I love that effect. And then I've just cut out a couple of the leaves and popped those behind, and then stamped the big hello from here. Popped a couple of gems on and the word friend. Now, here's where I came to a bit of a dilemma. So I've got a card base. Actually, I've got 2 card bases, and I couldn't decide. Ah, thank you, Anita. Bless you. Bless you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Ah, thanks, Carol. So we've got this card with this gorgeous geometric background, which this is what I was going to go with. I loved this until I saw this. And then I really liked that as well. But I wondered whether it was too much flower for the background. So I then thought, well, maybe I'll have to design another card. So I think that's going to go on there. And it's just raised up on a few dimensionals. This is on dimensionals, but these are all flat. If I could bring myself to do it, I think it would look quite good jaunty. But I'm not really a jaunty person. I'm a straight person. I find it really difficult. It kind of sets me on edge to put things on an angle. So we are going to make a different card, and I've just stamped and I've already fussy cut these 2 images from here. Yeah, I know, Anne-Marie, you're the jaunty one of us. Jaunty. You're the jaunty one of the 2 of us. You like things at the jaunty angle. I can't quite bring myself to do it. So I'm thinking on it. I might be brave, I might not be. So I'm just going to go in again. I'm going to do some quick colouring. I'm going to try and do it properly, but also going to try and do it quick. because again, I just can see these taking a while to do. I think that one took me about 45 minutes to colour. So if you wanted to, with your Old Olive, you could, sorry, with your Mossy Meadow, you could also go out to Old Olive as well and make it even lighter on the edges of the leaves here, if that's what you wanted to do. Ah, bless you, Katie. I know loads of you have been through the course now. I'm so chuffed. I am debating whether this is going to be the last one I do. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to see how things go. But I've been asked to do a watercolour course next year. And the reason I used to do 2 Stampin' Blends courses in a year is because we had 2 celebrations a year, and it just made sense because you get more bang for your buck during celebration. But because there's only one this year, I'm only doing 1 Blends course. And yeah, I've had a bit of a request for a watercolour course, so that is in the pipeline. Not that I've not given myself enough to do over the summer, but I might be designing a course. Yeah, Mary, you've done it, loads of you. So thank you ever so much for your support. I couldn't run them if you guys didn't join us. So thank you. And I'm just pleased you recommend it. If you all came on and said don't do it, it's rubbish. I'd be stuffed, wouldn't I? Bless you. Right, so there's a little bit of dark, a little bit of light. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. Just something different. Watercolor is, a lot of people are scared of watercolor, and there really is no need to be, but you just need to be guided through it a little bit sometimes. And I love watercolor painting, so that's what I do in my spare time. I don't know if I have spare time, but I watercolor paint kind of just in my journal, just for me, just for fun. Not serious, but I love playing with watercolors, and I kind of want to give that to everybody else as well. So there's our greens. Right, so dark Blackberry Bliss, light Blackberry Bliss. My light Blackberry Bliss pen has a problem. It keeps doing that. So just going to take that off, pop that back in. Dark Fresh Freesia and light Fresh Freesia. And I'm just going to put some dark. Like I say, with these small tiny petals right at the back, they're going to be quite dark anyway, so you can get away with just putting the dark marker down. And then going in with I'll just go straight in with the dark Fresh Freesia, to be honest. Shouldn't really have cut them out because it's quite hard to work on them when they're already cut out, but you know. I obviously got bored and wanted to do some fussy cutting. So it doesn't matter if you go over the lines. You can see I'm going, you might not be able to see actually. I am going over the lines on the inside, just here. Doesn't matter at all because we're going to colour that bit anyway. And then we're going to go back in and we'll do a few more. Now, working 1 petal at a time versus working several petals at a time. The best practice is to work 1 petal at a time and just work your way around from light to dark. But if you are in a bit of a hurry or you're being impatient, because sometimes we just want a quick craft, don't we? Oops, I'm doing it off the page. Sometimes we just want a quick craft. So if you're being a little bit impatient, then you can just crack on and do several at a time. It's not imperative that you do them all separately. And I'm just going to go in with the light now, right on that tip. Just give that a bit of a blend. So the way to blend is to rub, basically. There's lots of different ways to blend. You can flick, you can go in circles, but just we can go back and forth, but just want to try and get some ink down and blend it in. So that's dark Blackberry Bliss, then dark Fresh Freesia, and then light Fresh Freesia. So I'm just doing a bit of a combination. There's no hard and fast rule when I colour, a bit haphazard. But again, I teach you best practice, and then I just kind of do what I want to do. And I also leave the pen lids off. So some people ask, should you keep them caps on at all times? Well, realistically, you should, because blends are alcohol, and alcohol dries quite quickly. It's one of the reasons we use alcohol kind of sprays and things like that when we're paper crafting over and above water, because they dry quicker. But when we're working like this and we're constantly back and forth between the pens, really have time to put the lids back on and off, so I just leave them open. So again, this is really quite tight round here, so I'm just going to come back to that bit in a minute, and I'm just going to do these bits that are a bit more open, where you've got more of the petal visible. These are a bit more of a challenge. These would be much easier just with one colour, light to dark, but I'm trying to be creative and show you what it's like with those two colours like you get in the paper. It's really hard as well, because Blackberry Bliss and Fresh Freesia look so similar. The caps, I keep picking the wrong pen up by mistake. So that's what you can hear. If you hear the banging, it's me putting the pens back down because I picked the wrong one up. And then can you see with the light bits, I'm just going around the outside and touching all those up. You can just about, I'm really struggling to get this in the right place for the camera tonight. Okay, so who's ready for Christmas? Haha. Shouldn't really laugh. I am so not ready for Christmas. I have just ordered some Christmas presents for my family today. I've got no idea whether they're going to arrive in time or not, but I've done it. I've got a few more to get. Russ and I have decided that we're not going to really buy each other Christmas presents this year. We're going to get things for the house that we've kind of always just put off. Like, I was dishing soup up the other day, and we don't have a ladle. We don't own a ladle, so I was dishing soup up with a dessert spoon. I was like, this is just ridiculous. Come on, let's just go and spend a little bit of money and go and get ourselves some bits and bobs for the kitchen. Hence the frying pan. Right, so I'm getting into the point here where I'm getting a bit bored, and I'm just going to start putting really quite randomly some of that dark marker down, and then a little bit more of that light Blackberry Bliss, and then the dark Fresh Freesia. I get bored really easily. If you ever meet me and if you don't know me and I struggle to hold a conversation, yeah, apologies. I've got quite a low boredom threshold, so just kind of want to move on. Right, where's the next thing? On to the next thing. Crafting is probably the longest thing I've ever stuck at in my entire life. And my current job, that's only because it allows me to craft. So that's the dark Blackberry Bliss, light Blackberry Bliss, and then I'm in with a bit of Fresh Freesia. Gina, you've got 2 birthdays, but definitely not ready then. No. Need to make cards for your son on your son's birthday on Saturday. Awesome. Are you going to get to see them? So I'm just going around and adding quite a bit of that dark in the center, because that's what happens. The flower, it just gets darker and darker in that center. So you can afford to go back in with that dark Blackberry Bliss if you wanted to, and just add in some more dark tones I don't think you can kind of almost go too dark. You might disagree with me. No, Christmas isn't happening quite yet at your house then, Mary. Bless you. So I'm just going to go back in. I just dread the thought of having to do another one of these. But see, if I wasn't on camera with you guys and I just had a film on in the background, I would love it. This is my kind of therapeutic activity. Fussy cutting or colouring like this. But this is quite fussy colouring. Most of the colouring I do isn't quite this labour intensive. But yeah, just going in with some of that dark Blackberry Bliss and a little bit of the light Blackberry Bliss and blending that out. Again, don't have to be all that accurate. Dark Fresh Freesia. On the bigger petals, you get more room to go dark to light. On these smaller petals, you might just get away with just going in with the dark Fresh Freesia right at the back here, see? And then the light Fresh Freesia. Right on the top. And if you wanted to, I mean, you can lighten a lot of things up by using a lighter marker over the top. But it's quite useful to have that little trick in your back pocket. Mostly, that's nice, Gina. That would be lovely for you to get to see him. All Christmas food shopping done except vet. Oh, Louise. You are putting us to shame. Yeah, I think you're right, exactly. If it's not done yet, it's not happening. Bless you. That's I'm really impressed. Really impressed. I normally am. I had a really difficult start to the month, actually. Just really kind of mental health wise, just took a bit of a nosedive. And yeah, I struggled. So I feel like I'm getting back on track again now, but sometimes you just can't push, can you? Can't really just make things happen, but well, you can, and I think that's what I've always done, but I'm learning to give myself a break, and I'm learning to, just learning to chill a little bit. So I just let myself have a bit of time off. Not from work, still had to work, but a bit of time off, kind of chores. Although I think Russ would probably say I have all the time off chores. I saw something on Facebook the other day that said I've sacked my cleaner. Sacked my cleaner. They had a poor attitude and kept failing to attend. And they said, I hope the new one's good. We said we'd done the same. We sacked ourselves. Usually I've already had your shopping day to make a big dent in it. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Louise. You have to look after yourself. 100%. Yeah. I've convinced Russ to sit down and watch some Harry Potter with me, which was lovely. So we started on film 3. Film 1 and 2 we've tried before, but they were a little bit childish. Were a little bit childish for him, and he couldn't quite get into them. So I said, well, look, let's start on film 3. And he loved it. He really got into it, which was lovely. And we just had the evening off and we had pizza and watched Harry Potter. It was so nice. So this is just the dark Fresh Freesia, and then in with the light just to go all around the outside of those petals and just kind of all over the petals really, and just blending all of that together. Okay, here we go. Getting to that kind of good point where I can just kind of put some colour down. Like Blackberry Bliss. So again, these bigger petals I'm being a little bit more accurate with, but these smaller ones, just getting some colour on there. I don't know how interesting this is for you guys, just watching me colour. You've not let the twins watch all the Harry Potter films yet. They do get, yeah, massively. They get quite dark. Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy the later ones. Okay, so I'm starting to get to the point where I don't want to use the light Fresh Freesia anymore. I want that darker of the Fresh Freesia to come on in. So a little bit of light Blackberry Bliss, just a little bit, just to tone it up and tie it all in. And then that dark Fresh Freesia can come all the way around here. Just getting darker as we're going in. And then for the good bit, just kind of really dark in the centre. It's like iris, it looks like a bit of iris folding in the middle there. Some light. And then the dark Fresh Freesia. That's it. That is it. We are done. Done. So, well, all we've done is the colouring, but we're done for the colouring. So pop your pen lids back on. Dark Fresh Freesia. I don't know which is which. Dark Blackberry Bliss. Oh, really? That's interesting. So she refuses to. Is it she or he? Sorry, refuses to watch the films. Is that because they miss so much out on the films? Yeah, the books are so much better. I actually do love the films as well. So just zoom you back out a little bit. I hope that's not too bright. That light. There we go. Is that a bit better? Okay. So we've got our background, and then I'm literally kind of sticking to the same thing. So I think I'm going to stick that one on there. I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. I want to stick to the similar kind of layout. So I've got my white die cut. This is with, it's a bit dirty actually, die cut with the stitched rectangles. This is then just a square of cardstock that I've just measured just to be a little bit bigger. I didn't read the books until 15, and then loved to watch these films was fun. Yes, yeah, there is definitely an element of that. I was a bit younger, and I think when I read the books, I'm not sure actually. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, the films are just different, I think, and I like to see them differently. But I'd love to read the books again. So I've got my Blackberry Bliss, and I'm just going to flick some ink over here. That might be enough, it might not. I'm not decided yet. And then I'm kind of thinking layout wise, something like this. Gold, bit of gold. And thanks. So I might do a little bit more flicking. I wonder whether to go with a different colour. I just think it needs a bit of background. Obviously, when you do this, make sure everything else is out of the way. Seeing the books on film does alter the plot. Does it, and the characters 100%, because you build up this mental picture in your head, don't you, of what you think the characters are looking like, sounding like, you know, how they act, and all of a sudden that's kind of gone. And yeah, it can be. I have it at work. We speak to a lot of people over the phone, over the radio, and don't see them face to face. And then when you do, it's like, oh, I'm not actually sure I can converse with you. You don't look like you're supposed to. Which obviously is ridiculous, but so I'm kind of going with that because that's a little bit more simple, plain, and then that just kind of sitting on the top of that busy designer series paper behind it. I'm hoping that works. I'm not 100% convinced. Bit of a few gemstones maybe. So I'm not happy with this either. So when you've got a sentiment, big. Oh, hey Joanna, nice to see you this evening. You've got a nice big sentiment like this. I'm going to show you the best way of doing it is on the Stamparatus, because I love this tool. I don't use it anywhere near as often as I should, though. So it comes with 2 plates. So you've got 1 plate, 2 plates, so you can do multiple stampings at the same time. you get magnets. So on the back, you've got the magnets. So you can grab one of those. Because black ink can be a little bit funny. So that's certainly my black ink kind of needs re-inking. So I'm just going to grab my piece of cardstock, put my magnet down. Ah, thanks, Gina. Grab my stamp. So I'm going to use this big thanks. Now I want to die cut it, so I need to leave room around the edge to be able to die cut that. I'm going to pick the stamp up. I'm going to actually, I need to take out the foam mat. So there's a foam mat that comes with it. The foam mat is what you use when you are, yeah, Mary, it definitely needs changing up, doesn't it? I need to do something with it. Foam mat is used when you're using photopolymer stamps, the thin stamps, and this is used when you're using the thick stamps, the red rubber. Talking of which, who's noticed in the catalogue some of the stamp sets, this one included, you can now get in photopolymer or red rubber. You get a choice. You've never had a choice before? Well, not that I know of with Stampin' Up, not in my time. It was always one or the other. Now you get a choice. It's the same price. So you can choose photopolymer or cling for this set and for a few as well. Okay, so I've got my Memento ink, and I'm just going to ink this sentiment up. I often find it easier just to put a stamp case under there. And I should turn that up the other way so it doesn't distract us too much. Ink this up. Stamp it down. Now, can you see those white bits that I've got?